Everybody, have you had a good week? Big guy here. He's wore his front row of a televised comedy show shirt purposely for the scene. The last time I seen this guy, he was selling comic books in The Simpsons. Look at him. Everybody had a good week. Have you had a good week, sir? A lot's been happening. There's a thing announced this week that people in the north of England are far more likely to be prescribed antidepressants than people in the south. No chance, says some cheeky chappy northerner there. Where are you from? Sunderland. Are you depressed?
No. Because I live down south.
Oh, you've cheered up. Where did you cheer up? Run about Preston. Did they announce that on the train? You're now approaching Watford Gap. Everybody cheer the fuck up. People actually get paid money to do this research. Top of the depression table are places like Blackpool, Doncaster and Salford. And bottom of the depression, the least depressed people are people from Kensington and Chelsea. Shock news, wow. Who would have thought that people who shop in Waitrose, who spend their Sunday mornings doing Pilates, who drink frappuccinos, who cycle to work, who make six-figure salaries, are a bit more chuffed than people who have seen a dog's paw print in a human shite. What else has happened? It's all kicked off in Libya. Some pretty big stuff happening. Now, that's a Libyan rebel soldier. That's the kind of guys that are attacking Gaddafi, trying to force the guy to step down. If you're Colonel Gaddafi, you're 68 years old. Who could be arsed with that level of hassle? Like 68 years old, you should be lying at home watching cowboy films and pissing your pants and dreaming of a walk-in bath. Who could be bothered? At first, I never actually thought that was a Libyan soldier. I thought that was just Ashley Cole arriving at Chelsea's training ground. He likes his music, doesn't he, Colonel Gaddafi? He likes a tune. He said 50 Cent, Usher, Nelly Furtado and Mariah Carey all booked to perform for him in the past. And all of them have given their fee back since the war broke out. I think he's going to have to drop his standards when he's booking his next music gig. It's going to be like Ollie Murs. Jedward performing it. Makita Oliver presenting T4 live on the front line. Those bombs going off, we're under strike. But give it up for Mumford and Sons. Sorry, give it up for Mumford and Son. Okay. Give it up for Mumford. Anybody not from the UK in the room? Anybody? Any tourists in? Who have we got? Chicago. Awesome, man. Are you enjoying London?
Yeah, loving it.
What's your favourite thing so far?
Just the sights, the city, it's all good.
It's all good. That does sound great. You genuinely believe the guy, don't you? He's always going to run a night bus to Hackney before. They say London's quite an unfriendly place to live. I've seen a bit of hope on the tube before. I've seen a bit of hope on the underground. I was at Clapham South Station. Don't know if that's anybody's. They've got a thing called Thought for the Day, where they've got a whiteboard in the station and somebody writes their thought for the day on the board. Anybody seen this? Yeah. And it's always something quite sentimental and profound. The thing in Clapham South was life is nothing more than a series of hurdles. Take each hurdle one by one and enjoy the journey in between. That's quite nice, isn't it? But nobody's that positive on the Northern Line, are they? I think the thought for the day should reflect the climate of fear in which we live. No, live each day as if it's your last. Don't put more than a £5 on your Oyster card. A lot of funny stuff happening in the news this week. We've had the constant threat of civil war in Libya and Bahrain. We've had an earthquake, a tsunami and a potential nuclear disaster in Japan. So, as a topical comedy show, we've pretty much hit the jackpot. Comedy fucking gold. So, Have you been watching the Japan coverage? This guy right here. Have you watched
A little bit. Sky News.
Sky News? That's the only place to watch a disaster, isn't it? Sky News. They know how to do a catastrophe. Sky News. You turn it on and they've got reporters and cameras right in the face of the devastation, interviewing people in the heart of the carnage. And then you turn to somewhere like Channel 5 News. Well, welcome. You join us live from the Stoke Newington branch of Yo Sushi. Where we're going to try and attempt to interview the head chef, who is actually South Korean, but it's close enough for us. So, they reckon the damage is going to cost Japan $180 billion. Now, who figured that out so early? Somebody has actually given them a fucking quote. Is there some guy with a clipboard and a bookie's pen behind his ear, walking around Tokyo just going... Have you kept the receipts? It's going to cost you. No. The clock, the 500-day countdown to the Olympic clock broke this week. Even the clock counting down to the Olympics does not give a fuck about the Olympics. I prefer the Olympic Games when it's abroad, when there's a time difference. And there's nothing better as a man when it's 3:30 in the morning and you're watching the women's beach volleyball, eating a cold pizza and nursing a chubby. You know, if you do that at 3:30 in the afternoon, you're going to get the sack, aren't you? Olympic tickets went on sale. Are we excited about that in London? Anybody from further afield? This guy. Further afield. Where are you from? Swansea. What's your name, Swansea guy?
It's Chris.
Chris. What do you do for a living, Chris?
I construct and erect toboggans.
You construct and erect
Toboggans, I do.
I love a guy that just took his opportunity to say erect on the TV. You ever been on a toboggan when it's been snowing? I was old school in the snow. I liked a bit of olive oil on a bin bag. That was me. Oh. So you make toboggans?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Look me in the eye and tell me you're telling the truth. You make toboggans. Yeah. You're bullshitting me, aren't you, John? One of his mates, grass him up. What does he do for a living?
I'm like the development officer.
He's a rugby development officer.
Toboggans was a side thing.
That's your dream, to erect toboggans. He's a rugby development officer, but a rugby development officer with a bit of hope in his heart that one day he can build a toboggan. How you doing? The guy there, what's your name?
Lawrence.
Lawrence, of course it is. Lawrence, of course. The stench of wealth is overwhelming from this guy. You've knocked it off the lady with these four, eh? 4 guys and 1 girl. The rugby player's going, ha 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 ha. Who's holding the video camera? Ha ha ha. She is. It was announced this week, before I crack on, it's announced that mobile phone charges are to be reduced from 4 pence a minute to 1p a minute to call different networks. Pretty good. Pretty good to anybody who's still on pay-as-you-go. It's quite good. What kind of phone have you got? The guy there.
iPhone.
iPhone. Any good apps?
Loads.
Fake calls.
What's that?
Fake calls.
Fake calls?
Yeah.
What does that mean? Oh, you've kid on...
If you're on a date, you will call you, and then that way you can get out of it.
Does anybody know there's a service for this? How does it know when you need a fake call?
You set a time.
You say, so you're presuming the date's going to be a car crash? What a bitch. Right, so you're... I'm trying to think. So what happens? The phone rings and then the rest is up to you.
Yeah, you pretend. You basically say, home is phoning me, and so home will come up. Photo.
All right.
It's real.
Well, so it looks real. All right, you don't need an app for that. I've got a thing called Friends to use. Just text your mate. So it's been a big week. It's always a big week, but it's been a bigger week. We're at war. We're at war. No, we're bombing the whole country because of a guy, Colonel Gaddafi, who lives in a tent. Right, we don't need fighter jets and Tomahawk missiles to get the guy out of a tent. All you need is a disposable lighter and a can of Lynx. A disgusting fart is enough for me to leave a tent. The petrol prices are set to rise. That's when we'll start giving a fuck. Petrol prices are set, they're the highest. Petrol prices are the highest all time. It could soon cost up to £200 to fill a tank of petrol. A lot of money. But think of the nectar points. It gives you an excuse at this time of austerity to purchase luxury goods. No, but people thinking, well, Colonel Gaddafi's got his critics. Well, I've got 75,000 points on my card. Let's go to home base and buy a fucking gazebo. It's always about the money. Japan this week, $215 billion. That's going to cost to repair Japan. That's a bit insensitive giving them a quote this early, isn't it? How did they get that figure? Is there some guy in Japan with a bookie's pen behind his ear, with a clipboard, just walking around, just going... just kind of kicking stuff, just going, have you still got the receipt for that? You might need to leave it with us, mate. It's going to cost you. Anyway, we had the budget this week. It's the only time of year, the budget, when you actually care about pennies. You pretend to care. You know when people saying 2p's going up on booze and you go, oh, that's a lot, but you don't really care. Have you ever bought something in a shop for like 98 pence and you've paid with a £1 coin, and then there's that kind of situation that needs to happen fast? You need to get your change straight away, otherwise you need to stand there and you don't want to walk away and look at the big shot, just walking away. Or do you stand and then she forgets, oh sorry, you actually want your change, and then you look like a tight bastard, and you need a charity tin right there to sort this problem. You don't even know what charity you're giving it to. It could be anything, you're just putting 2p in guide dogs. Anyway, anybody got a guide dog? Anybody got a Labrador? No. What about you, big guy? What have you got? A Staffordshire Bull Terrier? That's a real man right there. You have got a staff?
Yeah, I've got a staff,
Yeah, of course you've got a staff. That was by no means a stereotype joke. That was bang on accurate. This man owns a staff. This guy breeds staff. What's your name, big guy?
John.
John, of course it's fucking John. No nonsense. What do you do for a living, John?
My house husband.
You're a house husband?
Yeah.
Just sits at home fucking punching the wall. Is your wife at this table?
So there's that's a good impression of the sheep.
She does a good impression of the sheep?
Yeah.
Alright, so when did you discover that? It sounds like a great house you've got there. You just stay at home and make your wife act like a farmyard animal. The kind of family-friendly Joseph Fritzl sat here. So, how you everybody in the front row? I may as well speak to this guy since you're looking at me terrified. What's your name, sir?
Mark.
Mark.
I'm from France, so if you've got anything on the French, go for it.
You're from France? Are you French? You don't sound French.
I'm French, I'm French.
You're French. I'm not going to ask you to show your passport. I just don't sound French. He's getting French. I'm French. He's getting proper French. There we go. Just go and get this guy a big crusty loaf and some onions on his neck. He's got the stripy jumper. All right, I can see it. I'll let you away with that. Are you going to storm off on strike? I refuse to be part of this audience anymore. I like the French. They're good people.
We normally get on well against the English.
All right, that's what we'll do. We normally go on well against English. French guy and a Scottish guy, me and you will piss off this entire room. John, have you seen John? Normally, I'm up for it. We've picked the wrong location at the wrong time. That guy is England. Look at him. It's been an interesting week. There's a lot of stuff happening this week. We're still at war with Libya, are we? Is that still going on? I don't want to know how we're getting on. I've Sky Plussed it, and I'll find out. Maybe. Colonel Gaddafi, he's still hiding out in a bunker, protected by 40 female virgin bodyguards. It's quite a specific job title, isn't it? How do you apply for that vacancy? Hi, my name's Sandra. I'll gladly take a bullet, but I refuse to take a cock. We also had protests in this very city. Anybody attend the London protest at the weekend? Did you go? Of course, this guy went. He was at the front. This guy. Did you have a sign?
No, I took my mum.
You took your mum. As opposed to taking a sign, you took your mum. Did she get tattoos like no cuts on her forehead? No. Oh, these anti-establishment riots, they always happen on a Saturday, don't they? And they arrange them, like, yeah, let's go and have a total fuck the system protest, man. Let's go and take it to the man. Let's go and show anti-capitalist. Yeah, we're anti-capitalist, yeah. How about Wednesday? No, I'm working 12 till 8. My boss will go nuts if I phone in sick again. There's Nick Clegg, he's proposed a Lib Dem reform. Did we see that? They're thinking about having a new name and a new direction and a new logo, a new Lib Dem logo. It's been suggested using a pair of scales to imply fairness, evenly balanced scales. I would suggest for a new Lib Dem logo a picture of a spineless man bent over a map of the UK and being fucked in the arse by David Cameron. Folk Lib Dem and just have David Cameron just fucking away. Liberal Democrats, we get fucked in the arse so you don't have to. That's could be our new slogan or whatever. It is quite depressing, the news recently. Sometimes when the story becomes so bleak, it's only the way that it's reported that you can see the funny side. I seen a headline that said, Night Stalker found guilty. Like, oh, obviously. Right. That was never in any doubt. The Night Stalker is guilty. It was a case of finding who the Night Stalker is. He wasn't always known as the Night Stalker. It was a series of brutal sex attacks that earned him that nickname. Now, nobody went to school with a guy called the Night Stalker. Well, guess who I seen last week? Remember Night Stalker from Geography? Just in the pub, nice guy. He's got a job at his uncle's scaffolding firm. I always felt a bit sorry for Night Stalker. I felt his name held him back. Anything else been happening in the week's news? Prince William had his stag weekend. Pretty exciting for him. It must be quite strange being Prince William or Prince Harry on a stag night. You know, stuffing pictures of your gran into a lap dancer's bra. I say, Harry, this really does feel quite sick, but I'd be lying if I said I don't have a chubby. So, we're a wedding. Kate Middleton, her mum and dad, they own a party accessories online company now. They've been accused of cashing in, releasing merchandise. I think Kate Middleton's dad should just be proud of that. He's a businessman. I think his speech at the wedding should just be him addressing the assembled gantry and saying, my daughter has just married Prince William fucking ka-ching. Has anybody bought any royal merchandise? Any royal wedding merchandise? Anybody bought anything? There's plates. He has, this guy.
Royal Johnny's.
You get what?
Royal Johnny's, Royal Protection.
Royal condoms. It is. Royal Johnny's, is that their official title? That's so you can get Kate and William condoms. It's not the only royal contraceptive. You can also get a photograph of Camilla for your headboard. It's been a sad week. I don't know if anybody knows the sad news. The misery continues. The off-licence odd bins has went into administration. The off-licence odd bins went into administration, and the Daily Sport has went out of business. So two monumental parts of my teenage years have died in front of my eyes this week. But the memories will live on. The memories will live in our hearts. Odd bins, when you walk in underage, about 16, trying to get served alcohol, walking in with the confidence of youth. So, can I have a bottle of the house cider, please? A 3-litre bottle of the house cider. White Lightning, I believe it's called. Any ID? ID. I must have left that in the car. We were dropping off the kids at the babysitters, as you can see. We're going to a dinner party this evening, the wife and I. Fuck off, son. So what else has happened this week? The government are trying to get hundreds of thousands of people off incapacity benefit and back to work. We see that? If people can't work, then they can't work. We're just going to test people's patience. Like, doctor, my uncle can't even move. What kind of job do you expect him to do? Be a fucking scarecrow? Look at him. How far are we going to go? Oh, you can't work because you're quadriplegic. Lucky for you. Most UK call centres have Bluetooth headsets. There's not even any jobs anyway. We're trying to get people off incapacity benefit and onto job seekers allowance. Trying to get them from £73 a week to £65 a week, saving the government £8. Brilliant. The same government that let Vodafone off with a £6 billion tax bill. What the fuck is it to them if some guy in his 50s wants to lie about having a dodgy knee so he can stay at home, scratching his balls, eating quavers and watching Cash in the Attic? Who gives a fuck? Let that man live his life. Oh, stuff, Fulham. Any Fulham fans in? Fulham, they've erected a Michael Jackson statue outside their stadium. Mohammed Al Fayed, the chairman, said if you don't like it, you can go to hell or go to Chelsea. I think Roman Abramovich, Chelsea's owner, should come back and have a laugh about this situation. No, you never have billionaires having a laugh. He should erect a statue of Gary Glitter outside Stamford Bridge. All's pure in the mind of the pure. I was a fan of his work, the same way Mohammed Al Fayed was a fan of Jack, particularly Gary Glitter's early work, not too keen on his latest stuff. But Kate Middleton was also in the news. She was bullied at school, apparently, with fans of Kate Middleton. Some guy wolf whistled. She's all right. I'm looking forward to seeing her on £10 notes and stuff like that. Kate Middleton, she's all right. She's common, that's what they're saying. She's a princess that will bring the royal family more into line with the British public. I think statements like this set a challenge to Prince Harry to go and find himself a proper scumbag. I want to see Prince Harry marrying a 19-year-old beauty therapist from Warrington. Showing up at Buckingham Palace with orange fake tan on and a pair of Ugg boots. Asking Prince Philip for his BBM pin. I want to see Prince Harry on Take Me Out with Paddy McGuinness. They're all wedding. It's a day off as well. It's a holiday, isn't it? Just hopefully we can time the Queen's funeral. Maybe get a long weekend. It'll be a shame to see her go, but we'll cheer up when we're watching The Goonies and Uncle Buck. So, we've got international news this week. Barack Obama, he's going to run for the 2012 presidential election in America. Have we got any Americans in the audience? On the balcony. What part of America are you from? Denver. Did you vote for Obama? Yeah. No, when you ask an American that question, did you vote for Obama, you're basically saying, did you vote for Obama, or are you a fucking racist? That's the way we see American politics. It's quite simple. You walk in, there's two boxes, Obama or racism. That's it. I had doubts about the guy when he first came on the scene. Not for the same reason people in the southern states had doubts. Mine were no deeper than his election slogan, which was, yes, we can, which was blatantly stolen from Bob the Builder. To stand up for the week. How are we feeling? Everybody feeling good? It's been a more positive week this week with some nice weather. Didn't everybody enjoy the weather? Did anybody have a barbecue? That's a must. It's quite a novelty experience in this country when you go barbecue shopping. You walk in and you've got the option. I went for a disposable barbecue. So I'm a cynical person. I think you see £30 disposable barbecues or a £300 permanent barbecue. I bought a disposable thinking if it's nice tomorrow, I'll buy another disposable barbecue. Anybody booked up to go on holiday? David Cameron, he was on holiday. He sneaked off, it was leaked to the press. He went away for 3 days with his wife in Spain. They stayed in a 3-star apartment and flew with EasyJet for his wife's 40th birthday. Just ask her for a divorce, David. Stop dropping subtle hints. Anybody see what happened? The Daily Star reported that David Cameron took the codes to launch a UK nuclear missile attack. It apparently has to have these codes with him at all times, along with 6 security guards. He had the codes to launch a nuclear missile attack. That's the kind of guy you want to meet on holiday, isn't it? Not somebody that can get you weed or 2-for-1 drinks in an Irish bar. Somebody that can wipe a country off the fucking map. Get him a few Jaeger bombs, talk him into it, you know? Oh, come on, David, let's go back to mine, eh? We'll nuke North Korea and watch it on the telly. Come on. Guess what else is at the royal wedding? Buckingham Palace. This week they issued guidelines for anybody attending the royal wedding. Anybody know what they get told? They've been told nobody's allowed to look at the Queen. Nobody's allowed to look at... Who the fuck does the Queen think she is? I think she's Van Morrison or something. Nobody's allowed to look at the Queen. What's she going to be doing? Sitting during the ceremony, making faces and obscene gestures. Going, don't look at her. You're only encouraging her. Look away. Just don't look at her. Just ignore her. Just ignore her. Don't look at the Queen. If I was attending that wedding, I would be too engrossed in the wall-to-wall posh birds. Who wants to look at a fucking 84-year-old's visible panty line? You would lick the Queen's head.
No, I have.
You have licked the Queen's head. Continue.
The back of it.
You've licked the back of the Queen's head. All right, you still need to elaborate a little bit before you get the fucking jail. Keep going. Right. When did you lick the back?
We've all licked a stamp.
Oh, there we go. Fucking funny guy. Get it done there. We've all licked the stamp, but if you've been to the post office in the last 10 years, it's a sticker. So, some of these people... Some of these people are maybe a bit too young to have licked the stamp, so your joke's offside, Grandpa. Okay. This is on Channel 4. Have you got that at home? Channel 4. You can record it on your VCR and watch it. You see yourself on the telly, maybe even in colour as well. We've got all sorts of stuff that will blow your mind, old man. No, it's European news. France have banned the burqa this week. It's controversial, huh? Well, Nicolas Sarkozy, the French Prime Minister, he's outlawed the burqa. He's got a different opinion from the Italian Prime Minister, Silvio Berlusconi, who loves to see a woman's face covered with the stale contents of his 74-year-old decrepit testicles. We had a world record this week. This is in Brazil. Don't know if anybody's seen this. It's the world's tallest Lego tower. It was built in Brazil. It took that guy. Took him 5 days. He's also that guy right there. He designed this whole thing. He's also trying to break another world record of being Brazil's oldest virgin. It's pretty impressive he built that in 5 days, considering that tea time every day his mum came out and said, right, that's dinner, get that tidied up, put it back in the box. It's also going to be the #1 target for the Early Learning Centre branch of Al-Qaeda. So, pretty impressive. Anybody ever stood on a stickle brick? That's the most painful thing. I know women go on about giving birth and guys go on about getting hit in the nuts. But the one thing that unites the sexes is the pain endured when you stand barefooted on a stickle brick. That is true pain. You ever done it before?
Yes, I'm a teacher.
You're a teacher. How often do you stand on stickle bricks? Do they still use them at school?
Play-Doh.
and Play-Doh and finger painting. I've been to primary school. I was there. I've done my time. I've done 7 years in my local primary. You on holiday just now?
Yeah, Easter holidays.
You're always on holiday, aren't you, teacher?
I work very hard.
You work very hard, all right, cool. From what? This guy. What did you say? Say that again.
From 9 till 3.
From 9 till 3, that guy. What do you do for a living? You're a doctor? Oh, just really stuffing it in there. He works 24/7. He's got a pager, that guy. You're a doctor. So is that a rewarding job? I don't know why I'm taking the piss out of a teacher and a doctor. It's both admirable trades. It's not fair play to you. I work from 9 o'clock till 9:30 at night. So who am I to take the piss out of these people? What do you do for a living? Guy with his arms crossed. You're a builder. You're a builder. I was hoping you don't work in communications because you're very quiet. You've got a chest infection. No, there's your fucking man right here. Speak to him. She'll get you some calling-in books for the waiting room. You just need to make the journey. It's Easter, yeah. Woohoo! Spring break, yeah. It is. It's the Easter weekend, the weekend where Jesus got hammered on the Friday, disappeared before rising from the dead on the Sunday. The weekend where we celebrate by doing the exact same thing. So. It is. It's a week of Jesus. Have I got any religious people in you? Are you a religious guy? Big guy with the tattoos? Definitely. Are you a Christian? No. What religion are you? Jedi. You're a Jedi. All right, we'll get a comedian in the front row. Sat at the front with 3 birds with wisecracks. You, sir, are a fanny magnet. Congratulations. Nah, this atheism's pretty big, isn't it, these days? I'm kind of losing a bit of patience with Jesus. No, the second coming. He's taking his time about that, isn't he? The final straw for me was the millennium, when he was 2,000 years old. He didn't even show up for his own 2,000th. Oh, we even built the guy a dome. No. I think it'd be great if he just come back, Jesus, this weekend. He just popped back. No. Just confronted a few atheists, like Richard Dawkins. Jesus just walking up, smart arse, You go to Tesco Metro, get me 5 loaves and 2 fish. I'll show you. I'll show you who's the fucking boss in this place. There's been some crime in the news this week. A member of the English Defence League, he gets 70 days in prison for burning a Quran in Carlisle. The guy, he went to his local library. It's quite good that somebody in the English Defence League owns a library card. No. The judge called it an act of theatrical racism. Imagine committing an act of theatrical racism. That sounds like a course you can do at Oldham Polytechnic. Welcome to day 1 of theatrical racism. Today we're going to form a human swastika. See, sometimes racism's too strong a word for these kind of guys. Sometimes there's racism, and there's a thing I would like to call thick as fuckism. Thank you. I was exposed to thick as fuckism at a young age. Right? I seen a bit of graffiti on a guy's newsagent wall. Somebody had spray painted BNP, and below that they drew a swastika, and then beside the swastika were like 2 or 3 unsuccessful attempts at drawing a swastika. It looked like a game of Tetris on this guy. As if they had a big argument. Oh, you've fucked up. Give me the spray paint. Hurry up. Shh. Oh, fuck. Show me the picture again. How you doing, 4 guys here? You had a good week? Big guy. He's off. You've got a week off? Yeah. All right. Cool. You're off from doing what? Nothing. You kind of do that when you're unemployed. You still take the holidays as well, don't you? So, you're unemployed and you're having a bank holiday. How are you going to differentiate? Just means the TV gets quite good for you. But you start to panic, you feel disorientated because Jerry McHale's not on. They're showing a movie. It's a bank holiday. Oh no, where's Trisha? I'm watching fucking Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. So how long have you been unemployed? Since time began? You had a job? How old are you for a start? How old?
23.
23. So you've been unemployed for 7 years? Yeah. And you're drinking red wine? If anybody's looking for ecstasy or cocaine this evening, this is my guy right here. I'm just looking at your skinhead friend and thinking I'm bang on the money right here. Do you work, big guy?
Yeah.
What do you do?
I'm a conductor.
You're a conductor? As in a bus conductor? An orchestra conductor? An orchestra conductor? And what's the name of your orchestra?
The Bradford Symphony Orchestra.
The Bradford Symphony Orchestra. That just sounds like a cover-up for the BNP, doesn't it? This guy with the skinhead and the polo shirt is a conductor for the Bradford Symphony Orchestra. What instruments do they play? They play the petrol bomb and stuff. So the royal wedding. Royal wedding is done. And now we're looking forward to the divorce. We're looking forward to that. I wonder if they signed a prenup. You know, they're a modern couple. I wonder if Kate Middleton, if I was her dad, I'd make sure she signed a prenup. Imagine you were divorcing the king. It might even leave you Scotland. Oh. Or a little bit of England, right down to Preston Services. That was all yours. Now, there has been big news this week. There's been hard-hitting news, big news. WikiLeaks have released documents showing in detail the torture and inhumane conditions of Guantanamo Bay. Who would have guessed? Torture and inhumane conditions in Guantanamo Bay. Thank fuck for WikiLeaks. I was getting fed up relying on TripAdvisor. We found the staff to be extremely unpleasant. The conditions somewhat crowded. 35 of us in a room which was a twin room at best. However, there was only a place to rest our heads after an 80-hour day of high adrenaline activities such as waterboarding, where the entertainment's officer would tie us to a chair, put a bag on our heads, tilt us back way and pour water on us to induce a sensation of drowning. It sounds quite intense, but you should have seen my friend. He totally fucking freaked out. It was quite amusing. On the plus side, we didn't have to check out until 9 years after the schedule. And you go on a holiday, it is good going on a holiday. I don't know what, a mental holiday. You know, you save up €1,000 and come back with a bottle of absinthe from chlamydia. No, a proper holiday. You get people who travel and you get people who go on holiday. No travellers, no the Expedia mob. Yes, why don't we spend our gap year yak wanking in the Himalayas? Yeah. Isn't this magnificent? This place is in serious danger of getting a 5 out of 5. Yeah. Charlie Sheen is back in the news. Charlie Sheen, his porn star girlfriend. I always feel guilty even taking the piss out of Charlie Sheen, because the guy is on a one-way track to death, isn't he? But his porn star girlfriend has dumped him this week. Poor Charlie. I know. It's a shame. Most guys think it sounds great living in a house with 3 porn stars, but I'd imagine that to be quite challenging. Living with porn stars, there's constantly pizzas getting delivered and plumbers showing up, champing the door. Is that washing machine fucking broke again? Anyway, so that was Charlie Boy. His missus dumped him. Anybody been dumped recently? Yeah, you. You get dumped? When did this happen? A month ago. Good guy. Did she give you a reason?
Yeah, she didn't like me that much.
She didn't like you that much. How long? Sorry for laughing, but no. How long were you going out with her? A few months. Did you take it well? How were you? Did you go to Asda and buy a power ballad CD and put it on your iPod and just lie in bed with the TV off, looking at the roof? Just you are beautiful. Words can't break. Christina Aguilera, that's what you need. Then it changes to that song, Fighter. Thanks for making me stronger. And you start getting pumped up, start punching your wall and stuff like that. Put on your best Ben Sherman and fucking hit the town, man. That's what you need. Christine Aguilera's greatest hits. Repeat it back. That's what you need to go over that, all right? There's my fucking relationship advice for that man. There's a future for you. Big hand for this guy. Everybody have a good war on terror. Everybody enjoy it. It was a good hustle, wasn't it? It was good. Are you a Bin Laden fan? Just thought I'd put you on the spot. Yeah. What's your name?
Tom.
Tom, where are you from, Tom?
Wimbledon.
Wimbledon. You play tennis?
No.
That's that conversation over. So, what do you do for a living, Tom?
Greenkeeper.
You're a greenkeeper? On a tennis court? No? By any chance? Nothing to do with tennis at all? You're a greenkeeper. How old are you?
19.
19. Are you the world's youngest greenkeeper?
Possibly.
Possibly. What kind of lawnmower have you got?
I've got a few.
You've got a few. How many lawnmowers have you got?
3.
That's probably the first time that question's ever been asked. How many have you got? We'll start the bidding. How many?
3.
3. Anybody own more than 3 lawnmowers? You own 3 lawnmowers, different kinds, petrol and...
All petrol.
All petrol, 3 petrol lawnmowers. How much do you spend on petrol on an average summer's day? This guy's killing the planet. Fuck Bin Laden, this is far more interesting. And he made flying fucking tense, didn't he, Bin Laden? No, I don't like flying. I know you need to get through the metal detectors and stuff. They ask to check the bottom of your shoes because you're no longer allowed on board a plane with dog shite. Right, I know. And when everybody started having their toiletries chucked in the bin, that's where I drew the line. I think airport security staff had to distinguish between terrorists and talented people. See, hijacking a plane, right, and flying it into a building, that's terrorism, right? It's frowned upon. It's not a done thing. It's a social faux pas. However, blowing up a plane with a bottle of Pantene Pro V conditioner, that's a fucking achievement. Now, if somebody stood up on my flight and shouted, "Nobody fucking move," it's fucking shampoo time. Just stand back, don't approach him. He's got L'Oreal, it's not worth it. Just stand back. So, it's been a week. Any news? What's your name, sir?
Charlie.
Charlie, any news catch your eye this week?
No, I haven't been here. I haven't been in the country.
You haven't been in the country? All right, so you're in a country with no news. What country were you in?
America.
America. All right, because... Because pretty much, you don't hear much from America these days, do you? Not much has happened to them. Wonder what happened to Bin Laden. That's not been in the papers. You're in America, and you're trying to hit me with there was no news in America. So, Osama, the Pakistan authorities are investigating as to why he went 6 years unnoticed in their country. I think the only thing they need to investigate is their unfriendly neighbourhood. 6 years, nobody said hello to the new guy. 6 years and nobody thought, "Oh, have you met the new neighbour?" No, apparently he's been on the telly. I wonder who it is. I wonder if it's Pat Sharp. His son's on the loose. Osama bin Laden's son is on the loose, sparking a terror threat. I'm not scared of his son. I reckon his son will be a shadow of his old man. I bet bin Laden's son's like a sort of Callum Best type. Just using his old man's name to get laid. Nothing to worry about that. Big bin. Did you see his house? Did you see bin Laden's house, Charlie? Have you seen his pads? Bit of a shithole, for want of a better expression. He had no internet and no mobile phone connection, no internet. I reckon that's why the guy was so angry. He never had the internet. He's never seen a panda sneezing. He'd never seen a cat playing the piano. He'd never seen a child kick a concrete block thinking it's a football. He had no phone either. Imagine how many missed calls there would be on Osama bin Laden's mobile phone. His inbox would be full, wouldn't it? 10 years worth of text messages from September the 12th, 2001. George Bush, WTF, M8. Call me ASAP. In other news, the Times Rich List was released this week, the annual Times Rich List. That's what we want to see, innit, in times of austerity and government cuts. Nice of the Times to release a big special on people who are better than us. That was good. It's always people who are boring, innit, on the Times Rich List. So they made their money through steel and finance. What does that even mean? No. I want to see just once a guy who'd made his money on the Times Rich List through selling gonks or counterfeit Ugg boots. I want to see the Times skint list. That's what we should have. Cheer us up a bit. Britain's top 1,000 poorest people. I don't want to see the rich list, people with their titles and how they made their money. You know, the Duke of Westminster, property. Sir Philip Green, retail. Roman Abramovich, oil. I want to see Eddie, heroin. Graham, gambling. Winston, age 77, answering the door to a bogus caller. A new entry in this year's skint list is Simon, a former happily married call centre worker who, after trying crystal meth at his brother-in-law's party, now lives in a youth hostel for £8 a night, which he finances by refereeing illegal dog fights and sucking off politicians behind his local barber shop. There's been a lot of talk this week about Scottish independence, the Scottish National Party. Scottish National Party romped home in the Scottish elections. Most Scottish people want independence because they think it'll piss off English people, right? But there was a poll recently that said 5 in every 10 Scottish people want to see independence, but the same poll concluded that 6 in every 10 English people want to see Scotland independent as well. It kind of ruined our revolution. No, it kind of kills rebellion. No, you'll never take our freedom. We don't want your freedom, mate. Fuck off. And anybody who's ever seen Braveheart, a referendum's quite a dull way to decide independence. Let's have a battle. Let's go old school. Let's have Alex Salmond and David Cameron both on horseback meeting up at Carlisle Services for a joust.